Hello, friends. This is Chandrakant from Akulmak, and welcome to the Legal Matters. And in today's session, we would like to discuss about one of the recent order from Supreme Court about how to appoint election commissioner for state elections. It's basically totally went unnoticed because of the Bengal election and so much news coming from Bengal. This particular order is very important for our democracy. And to discuss this further, let me invite my friend from Ahmedabad, Mr. Jeet Bhatt.
Thank you, Chandrakant, for inviting me and for allowing me to speak on this topic. Yes, it's a very important judgment delivered on 12th of March by the Supreme Court in the matter of State of Goa versus Fozia Imtiaz Sheikh. And certainly it is very important with respect to the democratic process and the conduct of free and fair elections, which form the bedrock of the democratic country. So certainly I'm looking forward for the discussion on this judgment.
Yes, Jeet. In fact, election commission is a very important aspect of our democracy because during the election, when the elections are being conducted, election commission really is the government. They own everything during those period of a month or so in a particular state or in a particular area where the elections are going on, and election commissioner of that election is the de facto ruler of that particular state for those many days. So Supreme Court has ruled that you cannot have government officials as election commissioner. What is the impact of that, and how it affects us, and what are the long lasting implications of this particular ruling? We would like to know from you.
Yes, Chandrakant. In fact, what the Constitution envisages is that to have a independent, impartial body, which is known as the Election Commission of India, with respect to the Lok Sabha and the state legislature elections, with respect to the municipal and panchayat and corporation elections, there is a state election commission. So there are two election commissions. One is the Election Commission of India, and the other is the state election commissions. The provisions for both are different, but the purpose and the effect is similar, and uh, the purpose is to conduct a fair and impartial and free election, because that is the most important aspect of a democratic country. So, in furtherance of this purpose, these two election commissions are set up under the Constitution, and State Election Commission overlooks the entire elections with regards to the municipal councils, the municipal corporations, and the panchayat. Now, the power given to these election commissions under both the Election Commission of India and the State Election Commission is the superintendence, direction, and control over the entire conduct of the election procedure. So they play a very important role in our constitutional setup and also our democratic setup. And as you know, we have a three-tier democratic system wherein the central government is at the central level, the state government at the state level, and the local government bodies, which are either a gram panchayat, a municipal council, or a municipal corporation, based on whether it's a village, a smaller urban area, or a larger urban area, respectively. So every larger urban area will have a municipal corporation. A smaller to larger intermediate urban area would have a municipal council, and the villages would have a village panchayat, because that is the principle of Swaraj, and which was envisaged and developed by our the father of our nation, Gandhiji, who believed in the concept of Swaraj so much that the entire freedom movement was also based on this very important principle of Swaraj, self-rule. So every smallest town, village, smaller urban area, larger area, state, country, it has a elected government and representative who work for them and for the betterment of every area of the country. So therefore, based on this principle, the the functions of election commission are absolutely important. Now, how this judgment and how this matter reached the Supreme Court is also very interesting. Is because the this, the governor of Goa had on 3rd November 2020 appointed the law secretary of the government of Goa, a member of the IAS, as the state election commissioner uh, to fulfill the duties as the election commissioner. Now, the municipal elections for municipal councils were to be held in the month of uh, February 2021 in Goa, but they were postponed by the election commissioner due to COVID, and it were to be held in April 2021. But on 4th of February 2021, the director issued a notification with respect to reservation for women and other backward candidates, and also for delimitation with regards to wards. Now, this was issued, uh, which came to be challenged before the High Court because it provided for the percentage of reservation not in accordance with the constitutional provision. Because the Constitution prescribed that not less than one third of the seats should be reserved for women. So one third means 33%. So what this notification provided is where there were 20 seats, 6 seats were reserved for women. So 6 seats out of 20 would be around 33, less than around 31 to 32%, but it would be less than 33%, 33.33. So the Bombay High Court on this issue uh, gave a detailed judgment saying that this violates the provision of the Constitution because this is not in accordance with the percentage prescribed, as the Constitution provides it shall not be less than one third of the total number of seats. So if it is 20 and there has to be a fraction, so if 6 is say 31%, then it is less than 33%. So then you have to make it more than 6, so you have to make it 7. So similarly, if there is 25 total seats and you provide for 8 seats, so that is again not 33%. So if there is a fraction, so say 7.33 or 7.6, then you have to make it 8. Or if it is 8.33, you have to make 9 seats because it can't be less than 33%. So this is what the Bombay High Court held. But what interesting aspect also, and what the Supreme Court held, was that there was an overreach of the process of law. What the SEC and the director did in that matter, the commissioner, that the High Court had reserved the matter for final hearing on 22nd of February 2021. Now, on 22nd February 2021 at 9 a.m. in the morning, they issued a notification declaring the election to be conducted. So whenever a notification for commencing of the election is already declared, the High Court is bereft of its power to exercise or to even hear the matter, entertain the matter, as per the provisions of the Constitution itself. Because what the Constitution provides is that the election, once commenced, has to be quickly ended and ultimately resulted into the result has to be declared. And if there is any illegality or anything, if any person is affected or aggrieved, then he has a remedy to challenge it by way of an election petition, which is also prescribed under the acts. So the elections should go smoothly. The elections should not be interrupted by approaching courts other than what is prescribed under the law. And therefore, an election once completed, only thereafter illegalities can be challenged by way of an election petition. So this was what is provided. So for the High Court not to entertain the SEC and the director on 22nd of February in the morning 9 a.m. when the offices start at 9:30, they started their office early, and only to see that the High Court does not entertain and decide this matter, they issued this notification commencing the election. And this was done again going against the statement made by the Advocate General of the state, who said that we will not do it. So despite that, they issued this notification in the morning. And this is what the division bench of the Bombay High Court in the held against them, saying that this is malice in law and this is trying to overreach the process of court, and still declared this notification of 4/2/2021 to be bad, illegal, and against the provisions of the Constitution with respect to the reservation of seats for women. Now, this matter reached the Supreme Court as the state of Goa preferred an appeal under Article 136 of the Constitution. And the Supreme Court, in its judgment on 12th of March, clearly held certain aspects which are most important. And it said that the appointment of the state election commissioner, of an officer of the government, is a violation of the mandate of the Constitution. because a state election commissioner is appointed under Article 243K, and 243K provides that the superintendent's direction and control of the preparation of electoral rolls, the conduct of all elections to the panchayat and to the municipal council shall be vested in the state election commission. So, so his role is very important and crucial because he undertakes the entire superintendent's direction and control of the entire election process. Also, what is the Supreme Court interpreted the provision was that he cannot be removed from his service except in accordance to the procedure which is provided for the removal of a high court judge. So the removal of a high court judge, the impeachment proceedings are. So there should not be any threat on them that they can be removed at the whims. They are not serving uh, uh, at the whims and fancies of the government. So therefore, this protection is given to state election commissioner as well. It is also provided that his conditions of service are also not to be varied to his disadvantage after his appointment. So once he's appointed, he cannot be removed unless by a procedure by which a high court judge can be removed, and his conditions of service also cannot be varied to his disadvantage. So these are the protections given to him because of the nature of his function and duties that are imposed upon him by way of the constitutional provision and the importance attached to his position. So therefore, the role is absolutely independent, impartial, and neutral. And if he is a government employee, then that violates the mandate under the Constitution. And therefore, the Supreme Court, in this matter, also provided, and held, I may just read the important para of the Supreme Court judgment, which Supreme Court says that the most disturbing feature of these cases is the subversion of the constitutional mandate contained in Article 243K of the Constitution. The state election commissioner has to be a person who is independent of the state government, as he is an important constitutional functionary who is to oversee the entire election process in the state for panchayat and municipalities. The importance given to the independence of a state election commissioner is explicit from the provision for removal from his office made in the proviso to clause 2 of Article 243K. Insofar as the manner and the ground for his removal from the office is concerned, he has been equated with a judge of a high court. Giving an additional charge of such an important and independent constitutional office to an officer who is directly under the control of the state government is, in the view of the Supreme Court, a mockery of the constitutional mandate. So therefore, the Supreme Court declared that the additional charge given to the law secretary to the government of the state flouts the constitutional mandate of Article 243K. The state government was directed to remedy this position by appointing an independent person to be a state election commissioner at the earliest, and such person cannot be a person who holds any office or post in the central or any state government. It was also made clear that henceforth, in all state election commissioners appointed under Article 243 in the length and breadth of the country in India have to be independent persons who cannot be persons who are occupying a post or office under the central or any state government. And if there are any such persons holding the post of state election commissioner in any other state, such person must be asked forthwith to step down from such office, and the state government concerned be bound to fulfill the constitutional mandate of Article 243K by appointing only independent persons to this high constitutional office. And the direction contained were given under Article 142, which power the Supreme Court has to give directions which have to be complied to do complete justice in the case. So this is a very important direction given by the Supreme Court. And as far as the state election commissioners are concerned, I am aware even in Gujarat, the IAS officer is appointed as the state election commissioner. So he will also have to now forthwith be removed, and an independent person will have to be appointed. And this will have to be done in the entire country. So absolutely important, wonderful judgment of the Supreme Court upholding the values of democracy in this country and also advancing it by having independent persons appointed in such an important constitutional posts. So certainly a very important judgment delivered by the Supreme Court.
Jeet, thank you so much for explaining this, the entire judgment. It is very important. And for the viewers, I like to explain that, in our democracy, we never have purposely not kept the even numbers in our parliament and in our assembly, because if you have even numbers and if you divide them by one third or half or something like that, then again there will be issues which will arise and will create confusion between opposition and ruling party. Because then if there are numbers which are equal, and we all know, all the simple mathematicians will know that if you have an even number, it is divisible by 2 or 3. So that is why all the seats in all the assemblies are kept at odd numbers. And that is when this issue comes, when you divide the seats odd numbers, these are not divisible perfectly. So if you have one third, for example, then it will be some decimals. If you have two
Right.
thirds, again it will result into some decimals. So I think it's a no brainer for a common person that, why don't we resolve it. But I think in a country like India, where everything goes up to Supreme Court and people cannot resolve logical things, so even this one has gone into Supreme Court, and now Supreme Court has said that if you have a situation where you have one third is like you mentioned, G, 6.33, that 0.33 is an infinite number. You cannot solve it from mathematics standpoint. So make it 7. So I think it is so logical and so clear. And now it has become a ruling. And the second part, which is very crucial, is that you have to have an independent person as election commissioner. And I'm sure it will affect everyone, even the general election it will affect, because now you cannot have IAS officers replacing and taking over these roles. So what is, in your opinion, will be an independent person? Have you ever given a thought about that?
So the Constitution provides that the appointment has to be made by the governor. But what is important and what has been recommended is that there has to be sort of a collegium system where the governor, the and some independent authority persons, and also the leader of opposition should all brainstorm and decide on an independent person who has to be appointed. So it can't be now with this judgment. It can't be any person who is employed with the state or the central government. So there are in some states, even retired high court judges have been appointed. So that is also a good option, to have a retired high court judge as the state election commissioner. So that can also be thought of. But let us see now with this judgment how the government is to come up with independent persons.
So I think it's pretty good, because fair and impartial elections can be conducted. There will be no influence on any side. You cannot accuse a person or anything of that sort. In our Indian politics, a lot of mudslinging happen before the election and also after the election, and that continues until the next election comes and the cycle repeats. So I think some of these activities can be reduced. I am hoping for that. And this judgment will help us there. So, G, thank you very much for coming and explaining this to our viewers today. It is a very important judgment as far as the Indian democracy is concerned.
Absolutely, Chandrakant. Thank you for having me.
So we will catch up again next week on something more interesting with regard to legal systems and any new ruling which is coming from Supreme Court. I say you have a nice week ahead, and I say goodbye for today, only to catch up next week again.
Thank you. Goodbye to you too.